Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Professor J in the house, flying solo today, but I'm definitely flying right. So we're going to come to you tonight with the post power play fantasy football show. We're going to give you some quick wisdom, some quick nuggets to make sure you set your lineups for tonight and for this weekend so you can win your matchup this week. So I might be alone, but the fellas are behind me. Everybody's doing what they need to do. We just want to make sure you guys are ready for game time tonight with the Panthers and the Texans, and then ready for this weekend with your lineups. So, of course, I greet you good tidings to all. This is the Positions on Sports. This is our post-fantasy power play fantasy football show. See, it's kind of a tongue twister there, and it feels good to just say it. So tonight, I'm going to hit you with all the good highlights, the injury reports from the week, the sensible picks. We're going to give you the top dogs, the sleepers, the quick hits, the quiet storms, and the closers. We're going to give you who we got for tonight because I heard from the fellas. So I'm going to give you some of their feedback and who they think is going to win the game tonight and who are the players to watch tonight. All right. So I'm going to just hit it hard and I'm going to quit it and get up out of here. So let's deal with the injury report. So none other than Daryl Henderson is back on the injury report. See, this is why I didn't draft him this year. He is a good running back. Don't get me wrong, but he stays hurt. And this is why he kills a fantasy team, especially for those who picked him up as an RB1 or sometimes an RB2. He's a good if you can put him in certain spots as a flex, but definitely he's on the injury report. So be wary of him. He's not ruled out for Sunday, but with that dude and injuries, he's got a rib cartilage injury. So just be careful there. You know, Sony Michel should get some run. And I'm thinking about starting Sony because he's on my team. Josh Jacobs, running back, Los Angeles. Oh, there I go again. Las Vegas Raiders. They haven't been in Los Angeles for some time. It was Oakland last, right? All right. So he's very questionable. So be careful. He's got that toe injury, that turf toe. You know, that can linger for an entire season. So you want to make sure that you're careful. They just picked up Peyton Barber. So maybe if you have Barber, he's a good push at flex or RB2. Amari Cooper, wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys. He also has a rib injury. Now, it looks like he's going to play, but you know, those jump balls, those 50-50s, things of that nature, which he is used to catching, a rib injury might slow him down. So if you have CeeDee Lamb, you might want to consider. Jarvis Landry, he has an MCL injury, you know, which is terrible news because now that you got ODB coming back, you thought you might have your tandem, which they haven't really had on the field a whole lot. So you want to think about that and look at Donovan Peoples-Jones if you have him on your roster. And of course, you know about Tyrod Taylor. He's a no-go for tonight. It's terrible because my man is a decent quarterback. He just keeps getting hit with the injury bug. You guys already know what's going on down in Miami with Tua. So he'll be out. So just plan accordingly with these injuries, even if your player might be on the field. All right. Remember, this is about gaining points. They can play when they hurt, but that doesn't mean that they're going to rack up the points for you this week. So our top dog honors go to Derrick Henry for this week. It was a toss-up between him and Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp comes a little bit later. But Derrick Henry should do his thing this week as well. So if you have him, you better start him. Next up, we have our sleepers for the week. I just mentioned him. I'll go with Odell Beckham Jr., ODB. He's coming back in his return. They'll be playing against the Bears. Their secondary is decent, but I think he'll be looking to do something spectacular, you know, against them. So look for him to be your sleeper of the week. And then quick hits is Cooper Kupp. He's a quick hitter. You know, he racked up some yards last week, right? And he's due to get some more again. He's one of them guys where if you don't look, he'll blow right past you. He getting all that yak and he getting touchdowns. So definitely Cooper Kupp is in there as our quick hitter of the week. Our quiet storm of the week is Tyson Williams, running back for the Ravens. So again, they're going against the Lions. The Lions are trying to play some inspired ball, but last year the Lions gave up the most points to running backs in fantasy. That defense hasn't changed a whole lot. You've seen what folks have done to them the first couple of weeks. So Tyson Williams for the Ravens is a good pick for quiet storm there. And then, of course, you'll see it tonight. You'll see him tonight, none other than Christian McCaffrey. He's your closer. Look for him to rack up points for you, get a touchdown or two, and he's going to really make you happy if you have him on your team. He is healthy and just as explosive as he was the year before last. And now let's get to the sensible picks. So now, just as Sense would say, he'll be like, yes. And he'll tell you exactly who his for sure starters are. So we got Logan Thomas, tight end, Washington football team versus the Bills. He's due for a really good game. And my man Heineke loves him some big tight ends. So look for him to feed Mr. Thomas often and onward. Daniel Jones might surprise some people, but they're going against the Falcons. Tom Brady shredded them last week, and I think that Mr. Jones will get back on the right. I mean, he played a well of a game against the Washington football team and that vaunted defense, right? So I don't think that's a misnomer. I think Mr. Jones, even though he plays for the G-men, I think he hears all that noise and that chirping third-year quarterbacks. If they don't turn that corner, it's time to start getting them out the door. So we'll see him to continue against the Falcons. So start Christian McCaffrey. We just said that, obvious reasons, but also start Sam Darnold. I know we've been down on Darnold, but he played for the Jets, Jets. So anybody playing for the Jets is bound to not look that great, especially at the quarterback position. So last time they had any favor and made it real far, like the AFC Championships, Mr. Franchise, Mark Sanchez was their quarterback, Mr. Butt Fumble, and that's been a long time ago. So, yes, if you have Sam Darnold, he's with a new team. He's with Carolina. He got Christian McCaffrey. Look for him to still continue his ways of going upwards. Definitely start Tampa Bay Bucks defense and special teams. They are awesome. They killed me this past week with the two pick sixes. I would have won this week if it wasn't for them Bammers, showing out like they did. So look for them to do it again this week. Not to the tune of 2 pick sixes, but they should be a sure bet. And then, of course, this is coming in from Sense. He's saying Mark Ingram is a start tonight. He feels that he will do well against this Carolina defense, which really looks like it's going on that upward trend to when they had Mr. Thomas and Mr. Kuechly running the linebacking core. And that comes from Jay Wills. So I'm leaning more on Jay Wills since I don't know about starting Mark Ingram, but Sense says that you should start him. So take that pick wisely. And now we get down to the son, sit them downs. All right. So Sense is saying Carson Wentz, QB, Colts. He's playing the Titans. Sit him down, even though he's trying to play. The Bama sprained two ankles, right? That was probably when Aaron Donald was hanging all on him, right? And pulling them down on the ground. He did look a little awkward after that. But I'm telling you, even if he plays, please don't start him on your team. Justin Fields, I know y'all are chomping at the bit to put this young man in, but he is going against the Browns defense. Garrett, Jadavion, I mean, need I say more? They're going to be hunting and coming after him. This is not his coming out party this week. I agree, Justin Fields will be a good start at some point this season, but the Browns do not want him to do his thing against them, so they are licking their chops. They are going to come after him. So trust me on that. Sit him. Houston Texans defense and special teams, just sit them, because I expect Carolina to really have a field day tonight. Sit the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. This is from Big Reg, dropping a Reg bomb, because they have key injuries to Bush and TJ Watt. So that's what makes the drink stir. Remember when Bud Dupree went down last year? That was kind of the beginning of the end for Pittsburgh as a whole, even with Ben struggling with that elbow injury last year. So look for the Steelers to take a step down. So go ahead and sit them this week. And Brandon Cooks, wide receiver. Since said to go ahead and sit them. Just trust them on that. All right, now let's get to our fantasy flame out of the week. It goes to none other than Jameis Winston. He showed us so much in week 1 and then showed us so little in week 2. I'm attributing it to the COVID running rampant through the Saints franchise. And I think that had a big deal to say about how Carolina schemed and played against them. They even had a lot of their coaches out on Sunday as well. So the Saints aren't that bad, and I don't believe Carolina's that good. But you've seen that smackdown and that whooping they placed on Jameis and crew. So unfortunately, Mr. Winston, you are the flame out of the week. So lastly, who you got? Because I got to get back to work. That's why I'm just putting this together so y'all can get some nuggets from us. All the fellas are busy tonight. We'll be back with you next week. Just trust on that. So this one is a little quick, but trust me, we love you. We'll be back. Tune in on Tuesdays. You'll get even more because we tease a little bit of the fantasy stuff during the regular show on Tuesday nights. So Panthers or Texans? I'm going to tell you the majority of the fellas, well, all of the fellas have the Panthers winning. And Big Red says it's the defense. Jay Wills also says that. Big Red is also saying that nothing about the Texans shows you starting a rookie quarterback, that's going to really put them over the top. So don't look for any of the offensive weapons other than Sense says, look for Mark Ingram. He's going to have to tote the rock. So I'm thinking that's what Sense is thinking. But that Carolina front and those linebackers, I think, will handle business on Mr. Ingram. So again, choose wisely, choose faithfully. So the fantasy player of the game tonight, I think we all agree it'll be Christian McCaffrey. So no arguments there. And whoever you have tonight for the Carolina Panthers, whether it's their defense or any of the skill positions that we just named, go ahead and start them. You should do well against the Texans on tonight. All right. Well, that's all I got for you. The tank definitely isn't empty, but we got some other things to do. So we want to hit you next week and enjoy the game. Set your lineups wisely. And I might hit you up with a bonus on Saturday. So look out for it. All right. Y'all take care and please be safe.